Good morning, Oriana. How are you? Happy Thursday. It's Thursday. It's in Oakland, California. The sun is coming up. I've got some coffee here to start the day, and got some lemon water for hydration. I've got some vitamins here, and it's going to be a rainy day here later. Um, anyway, and I'm also enjoying reading reflections, including yours. So I wanted first to say thank you for your reflections. I read all of them from the beginning because you wrote them in that narrative way, so it was easier for me to do it that way. And I wanted to give you some video feedback, and the reason for doing that is, partly because it's different than text. In some ways, it's easier for me actually just to record a video, but also it makes me aware that I'm sort of activating a different way of interacting with another person. It's more conversational. Even though you're not there, I can still sort of imagine that we're having a conversation, and it makes me think differently about the feedback I'm giving you. It's got a different structure, if that makes any sense. So I just wanted to give you some general feedback. First of all, it's interesting to me. I think that you have a real personal take on a lot of the content from the class, and how it highlights differences and also similarities in the kinds of things that you've experienced in your background from your home country, and then also in mathematics and economics. And so, yeah, I think for a lot of us, I think that traditional teaching methods seem off the mark. I think we said, in our class, when we started teaching it, it was mostly lectures, to be honest. It's kind of embarrassing, actually. But we try to do almost no lectures anymore. But it did seem to me that class you had in econ, where you were simulating factory production, I thought that was a really interesting way, and it made sense to me that you would remember that. I also think, in our class, do people remember our Battle of the Bands activity, which maybe we'll do this time? I'm not sure yet. Or do they remember a lecture that Jose and Liz get? Most of the time it's not the lecture. So I think that creates a hook. Also, there's some novelty there, that we tend to remember things that are a little bit different. I think in your second reflection there, you were focusing on the emotional part of learning, and the engagement principle, and you're absolutely right that it's it's really central, right? You made your point about if you're anxious or something, you're just not studying at your best, and I think that's true for all of us. But it really is pretty recent that was even considered to be possible, right? That it was more or less every day was the same, and you did the best you could, and every day was a good reflection of how well you did, and so that's an important insight just for us as learners. The other thing that is interesting, and I think you highlighted this, there's it's the role of feedback and the kind of feedback that different learners need at different times. David Rose talks a lot about the kind of encouragement that a new musician needs, and a lot of that is they need encouragement, right? Keep trying, you're doing great. And then when people get better, they need a different kind of feedback, right? You need to work on this part, or this part wasn't very good and you need to work on that. So that's and that's true with the emotion stuff too. And then just on your final reflection from I think you did I think you were kind of putting it together in your mind about how the neuroscience and the UDL fit together, how they mutually reinforce. Um, and I think they do in many ways. They don't always, though. And so, yeah, so I would, of course, always be critical, and think about, how the concepts that we introduce, how they help you understand yourself as a learner, what makes sense to you, and so on. So, with that, thank you for your attention. I hope this wasn't too boring for you. I hope you're enjoying the class, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. All right. Take care. Bye bye.